All right, we've come to another end of the week, and we have one more passage this week from Read the Bible in Lockdown. It's a great passage. I'm so glad you've tuned in today. It's the start of John chapter 3, where Nicodemus, one of the ruling Jewish leaders, comes to Jesus under the cover of darkness to ask him questions. A wonderful treat to see who Jesus is, how this is good news for us, and what our response should be. So why don't you pause this video, turn to the start of John chapter 3, have a read, reflect on those questions, and then I'll see you back after this. All right, how'd you go reflecting on those things? So fascinating when we reflect on Jesus that he doesn't answer Nicodemus's questions, but he tells Nicodemus exactly what he needs to hear. Namely that he needs to be born again to enter God's kingdom. Of course, that leads to all different confusion for Nicodemus. But what we see of Jesus is he is the Son who gives birth from above, who gives this new birth. And so with that knowledge of Jesus, how's this good news? There's so much good news in this passage, particularly around John 3:16, that because of God's love, he has sent Jesus so that we may not perish, but have eternal life. And so we may escape the condemnation which we deserve. Not much better news than that. What should our response be? Well, particularly in that last paragraph, the key response is to believe. Eternal life comes to those who believe that Jesus is the Son and that he takes away their sin. So we've got to have belief as our response. The necessary response here is that we put our faith in Jesus. And so why don't you think about that for yourself in terms of, are you putting your trust and your certainty and your hope in anything else? In your works or your good deeds or your religiosity like Nicodemus would have, or your rational thinking or your health or looks? Are you putting your trust and your hope anywhere else? It should be in Jesus, believing that he is your hope, he is your joy, because he has come from God's love so that we may have eternal life when we put our trust in him.